Hola, buenos días, soy Nico.
Why make tone such a subject to say? If you are black and you're standing in it, stand in it in all shades.
And today, as you can tell, it's very earth toned. It's very, very calming, very when I get home era. It's giving good day SZA, if you will. Um I've just gotten into like pastel nude tones and earth tones just because they're very calming. So that's not why you're here. I was just giving you a little explanation. But let's get started on the actual topic. But before we get started, like I always do, because I have bills to pay and I have content to give, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive live weekly videos, be a part of the podcast, which we'll be filming next week because I'm staying my ass home for a week. Nico, I've seen the comments. I've seen the tweets. Nico, why is your ass never at your home? Um, I've just found it to be more productive when I'm around people. I find that being more social and not just being cooped up in my home, because all of my friends live in different states because they all moved away from Houston because they shit in Houston. I found that I'm more happy and mobile while I'm actually on the go. But I don't have to explain traveling. I shouldn't have to explain myself in general, but y'all know I'm a very open, transparent person. So let's get into the conversation of why Mr. Bolden is tap dancing. Nico, he is giving tap dancing lessons. He is twirling. He is like 1920s flapper girl. He is really going there. And Nico, I usually come on here and my opinions and my viewpoints are usually a lot more subdued than what they originally were, because y'all know I used to come on here and I had no filter. I was very flippant at the mouth. I was slightly disrespectful, but I was still real because I come on here and I keep it real. Mr. Bolden disappointed me. Nico, if you don't know who Mr. Bolden is, he is an older performer. He's been in the game for a good minute, since the creation of Freak Twitter, if you will. So I have respect for him on those grounds, but I've never seen him actively twirl and tap dance like Scarlett Johansson in that movie where she was like, she was living her best life. I've never seen him do that before, so that's why I'm disappointed in the situation. I've covered Mr. Bolden before in a video in the past where basically I believe Jay Knight Jay Knight allegedly leaked a video of Mr. Bolden bottoming for him, and Mr. Bolden was upset, saying that was just supposed to be between both of us or the two of us, and you wasn't supposed to post that, and I don't bottom, I'm not no bottom, I'm a strict top, don't disrespect me, as if being a bottom is like a very disrespectful role or connotation to it, especially since he's a top, meaning you top bottoms, you can't disrespect the people you're putting your super happy adult fun time Chico stick into, you know what I mean? But I defended him because at the end of the day, it was revenge P, because he allegedly leaked it without his consent. So going forward, I've always had like a soft spot for him because his stuff was leaked, and I understand that he had that total top persona that he was still trying to adhere to. But when it comes to this situation where he basically posted, I just linked up with a DC Republican, and for a lack of better words, I'm not going to read it verbatim because it's very vulgar. I basically unleashed my super happy adult fun time African American Kangly juices, and then watered his All Lives Matter rose flower petals. Y'all read the message. there's not a way I can properly clean this up, because it's just like a very chaotic, very race play, tap dancing oriented kind of tweet. And it was to the point that he said, hopefully my black juices will change his mindset about legislative. And you had white gays coming out here and telling you, girl, you're out of fucking pocket. Nico, when the white girls come on here and tell you you're tap dancing a little too hard, you might hurt yourself, your ankles look a little swollen, girl, I think it's time to sit back and reassess where you're coming from. Because when somebody rightfully said, what are you doing? He was like, oh, if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. Like, Girl, it's not about liking it. It's about someone who is respected in the community of adult cinematography, especially on Freak Twitter, is tap dancing for no reason. Because I'm not going to sit up here and act like the girls do not, get hired for super happy adult fun times with Republicans, because whenever those Republican conventions happen in the big cities, if you did not know, a lot of the working girls, they will tell you that's when their business is booming, because just because they're creating laws to basically make you a second-class citizen does not mean they don't want that Nico, it does not mean that they don't want that Mandingo fantasy. Yes, they will still hire you to basically dog them out and then try to strip your rights away legally. So I'm not going to sit up here and act surprised that this is what he's doing, but it's the fact that he's boldly co-signing it and endorsing it and basically using it as a badge of honor to tap dance. I don't get it. So like I said, if it was just a situation where he got hired because, as sex workers in general, some of them escort, I personally do not. I hear it's good money, but I'm not pressed for money and I'm not a materialistic person, so that's out of my comfort zone. When I do on OnlyFans, it's more so I was already planning to have super happy adult fun time with this person I built intimacy with. I'm not gonna, do it for hire. It's just not for me personally, but I don't judge the girls that do it. So I understand that in this scenario, you're doing it for a check, you're paying your bills, but it's the way that you're advertising it and openly tap dancing in a race play fetish form that I cannot get behind, especially because that was not your content beforehand. To my knowledge, that's not who you were. This isn't who you are, baby. Look at me. Look at me. Stand up. This isn't who you are. We're talking about growth in 2023. Why are you tap dancing this hard? But definitely drop your opinions down below. How do you feel about Mr. Bolden now that he has openly come forward and basically bragged about sleeping with proud Republicans who actively try to strip our rights away? Especially because he doubled down on it with anybody that found it offensive or weird the way he worded it, because there's no way you cannot tell me this isn't racist. There's no way you cannot tell me that he isn't tap dancing his heart out. Like, this boy is like, I thought his ankles were gonna snap for a second. He was definitely auditioning for a role in Happy Feet. But drop your opinions down below, because once again, I normally come online, I'm very subtle with my opinions, but girl, there isn't like a left and a right side to this. There isn't two sides. He said some ignorant ass shit, and he's trying to double down on it. So definitely drop your opinions down below before I continue to rant and make tap dancing jokes, because y'all know I'm musically inclined, so I had them in the back seat. But yes. Woo. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers: Ronell AW II, which is a very good classical name, and Darius S, which I've always liked the name Darius. Thank you for your continued support. And this live stream discussion will be over tap dancing late in your career rather than using it as an entryway into mainstream success. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in.